Now, we talked about there being a lot of changes here in 2022 on Court TV. One of the changes is that plea day has been added to the afternoon of these miscellaneous dates. Now, plea day, as we call it, some people call it arraignment if you're in a different part of the country, some people call it arraignment here. That's really the first time someone is in court. Now, on plea day, you're going to see it's going to go very fast. The plea day part will go very fast. You're going to have people who haven't hired a private lawyer or are assigned to the public defender. If someone has hired a private lawyer by that point, that lawyer is going to file a waiver, what we call a waiver of arraignment, and a not guilty plea. So, for instance, that's what I do for my clients. My clients aren't going to go to plea day, but when I was a public defender, all of those clients go to plea day. A lot of times it's the first time a public defender is going to see that client. They're going to give them a card, they're going to set them an appointment, and they're going to get ready for that next court date, which is pretrial conference that we talked about in another video. This is a change because plea day last year was on a different day. It wasn't intertwined with this. This has actually streamlined it, put it all in one day. It does seem like it's a lot easier to take care of. After the plea day part goes, and that part goes rather quickly, then starts the afternoon of the miscellaneous VOP court date. The afternoon is reserved for larger hearings or contested VOP hearings, and I know we talked about those earlier. There's not a lot of those, but they do happen. But those other larger hearings, things like sentencings, when someone has entered a plea to a case, then now they're going to come back and get sentenced by the judge, and they're going to bring in, people to testify. They're going to bring in their friends or family to speak on their behalf and bring in letters, and we're going to hear that compelling testimony about maybe why they should get less than what the state's offered or why they should get this or that. And those are always very, very entertaining, very riveting to watch. I know even here at the office, we stay glued to Crestview Community TV on these afternoons.
Thank you. Be seated. Traquan Alberghetti. Traquan, okay, come on up. All right, this is 23 CF 2557.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Traquan Alberghetti. Judge, as you said, 23 CF 2557. So. Judge, we'll tender a not guilty plea today and leave this set for pretrial.
All right, you are charged with false imprisonment of adult, resisting an officer without violence, public disorder crime, and domestic violence battery. Your attorney has pled you not guilty, and asked for jury trial. Will set you for February 26th.
Next 15 days for any pre-arraignment motions, Judge.
Okay, make sure you get with your public defender and get ready for your trial, okay? Thank you. James
I know you live out of state, so.
Woodward Allen.
Not seeing any response, Judge.
You get notice. James Woodward Allen.
I'm sorry?
I asked for a KPC.
No bond capias, thank you. Daniel Arne, A-R-N-E. Come on up.
No attorney.
This is 23 CF 2610. What is count one, Ms. Leon?
It's attempted tampering with evidence.
Okay, tampering with evidence, possession of narcotics equipment, and DUI,
Yes.
Alcohol or drugs. This is an arraignment. You are charged with those crimes. You have the right to an attorney, right to remain silent, and right to a jury trial. And does the state have any kind of offer for him?
The offer was, yes, Your Honor, for dismissing the felony and a plea to the 2 misdemeanors for 1-year probation and the standard conditions for DUI.
You want to accept that, or you want a public defender appointed to you?
I'll go ahead and take that, Your Honor.
You would?
Yes, sir, I can do
Make
jury
sure that the
probation.
terms
I was riding a
are
bicycle.
on the record first.
Bicycle.
That he knows what it is?
Yeah, because it's not standard minimums.
Give me that, please.
Oh, did I take it from you?
All right, hang on one second.
So,
We just, Your Honor, we just want to make sure that we say the terms on the record so that he can make an informed decision.
All right,
He
yeah.
knows what it's,
Because they're not.
Is this his first DUI?
it should be his second, but he's charged as his first.
Okay. Because there's a minimum mandatory jail time with a second, isn't there?
10 days for the second, yes.
They're going to charge you as a first, not a second.
thank you, sir, Your Honor.
All right.
Riding my bicycle.
So, Your Honor, the terms would be 50 hours community service, fine of $1,000, driver's license suspended for 6 months, VIP program, 30 days impound, 1 year ignition interlock.
And if he doesn't have a vehicle?
Then that would be waived, that requirement.
And so I'm going to give you a year to pay that $1,000 fine. All right, if you want to do that. So do you, now the narcotics possession, is that first-degree misdemeanor, the way that this was
Yes, Judge.
charged? Okay. All right, how about it, Mr. Arne? You want to do that? 1 year probation concurrent on each, correct?
Yes.
So that means just 1 year total. Okay, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you swear the testimony you give for this court's the truth, so help you God? You want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of possession of narcotic equipment a misdemeanor, and DUI, first offense misdemeanors, and the state will dismiss the felony. You understand that? You want to do that? You do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pull that microphone down a little bit for you.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right. You realize you have the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney,
Yes, sir.
right to a jury trial, right to make the state prove its case beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt, and other rights that you're waiving by doing this plea. You understand that?
Sir,
You want to do that?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this no contest plea?
Yes, sir, Your
Are you under influence of any drugs or medication that prevents you from knowing what you're doing here today? Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Sentence you to 1 year probation concurrent on each misdemeanor, 50 hours community service total, $1,000 fine. I'll give you the 1 year to pay it before it goes to a judgment. 6 months driver's license suspension. Victim impact panel, where you'll have to go to a panel, I don't know how many days that is, and just be instructed on the impact that DUI has on people.
Sir, Your Honor.
It's what? One meeting? Okay. And a 30-day vehicle impound. If you don't have one, then you don't. And a 1 year ignition interlock, which will be waived if you don't have a vehicle.
Sir, Your Honor.
Motor vehicle, I guess,
I
I
don't
should
have
say.
any vehicles.
Anything further for, oh, and what about adjudicated guilty?
On the DUI, yes, Your
On
Honor.
adjudicated guilty on the DUI, adjudication withheld on the narcotics equipment. Okay?
And
Yes, sir.
did you announce, Your Honor, waive cost of supervision?
Yeah, waive cost of supervision, and then there's Mr. Berry over there, he'll talk to you about how you do probation. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
All those rights I just told Mr. Arn about, your right to an attorney, your right to remain silent, right to have a trial by jury, right to make the state prove its case beyond to the exclusion of reasonable doubt, they all apply to everybody, okay? And this is Mr. Nehemiah Barnett, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is 23 CF 2523, 23 CF 2524. This is an arraignment, Mr. Barnett, you charged with, in 23 CF 2523, fleeing, attempting to elude police, intimidation with a written threat, assault on a person 65 years of age or older, simple assault, and a moving traffic violation, driving license suspended, revoked. In 23 CF 2524, you're charged with drug trafficking, fentanyl, 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, resisting an officer without violence. Would you like me to appoint public defender to help you out, represent you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office.
Your Honor, I do want to make the court aware that we would actually have a conflict of interest in representing Mr. Barnett. He is an alleged victim on another one of our cases. I'm happy to do the paperwork and the court to appoint that.
Would you do that and appoint, I'm going to appoint regional conflict counsel to represent you, okay? So the public defender's got to get off for a conflict, and then the next attorneys that will represent you is called regional conflict counsel. Ms. Flowers, she'll be up to see you, okay?
Yes, sir.
And plead him not guilty, ask for a jury trial, and set him for February 26th,
Thank you.
okay? April Lee Castleberry.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of April Castleberry. This is 23 CF 2599. Judge, we'd like to tender a not guilty plea at this time and leave this set for pretrial or demand trial by jury. Request 15 days for any pre-arraignment motions.
All right, this is 23 CF 2599. Ms. Castleberry, you're charged with fleeing a law enforcement officer with lights and sirens active, possession of narcotic equipment, driving license suspended or revoked, subsequent offense, and financial responsibility violation. So your attorney, I'm pointing to public defenders, pledged you not guilty, asked for a jury trial. February 26th is your court date,
Thank you,
okay?
Judge.
Excuse me, Your Honor,
Here,
I can't hear him.
pull your
I'm
sheets
hard of
back up. So
hearing.
these are your official charges. So fleeing and attempting to elude, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving while license revoked, and failure to have required insurance coverage. Those are the official charges. So that's what you're charged with.
But I thought he said something about
So give me a call as soon as you leave so you can set up an appointment.
violation.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're done.
February 26th, okay? All right, Jeremy Dwayne Cochran.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Jeremy Cochran. This is 23 CF 2573. If I could have just one moment.
Yes, sir.
Judge, we do have an offer. I haven't had a chance to write that up. He does want to accept a 2-year probation offer that the state has extended. I'm happy to pass him and write that up and bring him back when we have that on paper.
Later this
afternoon,
few
Judge.
minutes?
Yes.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So
Thank
I'll
you,
go write
sir.
it up and go over it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Robert Bradley Denny. We got Robert Bradley Denny. Out-of-state fugitive from justice charge.
Yeah, I don't know if he signed the extradition papers yet or not.
Can you tell? She doesn't see anything filed, our clerk.
I'm checking the jail
Okay.
website to see if he's actually
It
still
doesn't look
there.
like it was signed. I'm looking at his first appearance paperwork. It wasn't signed.
Released on the 5th, okay, well.
But I also see that he's been released on 12/5, right? So maybe it was picked up?
What's
I
the
guess, Judge.
jurisdiction?
Well, he was released, so we'll
He's
just,
released, there's nothing,
that's
yeah.
it, okay. John Moreau Dennis.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of John Dennis. This is 23 CF 2612. Okay, we need to talk about that, yeah. Judge, we'll tender a not guilty plea, demand trial by jury, and request 15 days for any pre-arraignment motions.
All right, you're charged with fleeing, attempting to elude, high speed. We'll set you for February 26th, okay? Get with your public defender.
Set up an appointment.
Christopher Estrada.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Christopher Estrada. This is 23 CF 2629. Judge will tender a not guilty plea, leave this set for pretrial, request 15 days for any pre-arraignment motions, and demand trial by jury.
All right, Mr. Estrada, you are charged with battery on a firefighter or police officer and DUI with injury and property damage. Your attorneys pledge you not guilty. February 26th, get with your attorney and get ready for trial. Thank you.
Got a card, right? Yeah. Okay. Give me a call.
Dennis Ray Gibson.
Your Honor, Mr. Gibson is present and approaching. Tim Gibbs on behalf of Dennis Gibson. This is 23 CF 2605. Judge, we'd like to tender a plea of not guilty at this time, demand trial by jury, and request 15 days for any pre-arraignment motions. And you've got a card, right?
All right, Mr. Gibson, you're charged with possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, evidence of destroying, altering, concealed evidence, possession of a controlled substance, resisting and interfere with a wildlife officer, and possession of less than 20 grams of marijuana. Your attorneys pledge you not guilty. Ask for a jury trial, February 26th, court date. Get ready for trial. Get with your public defender. Thank you.
As soon as you can.
Chad Thurman Grice.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Chad Grice. This is 23 CF 2516. Judge will enter a plea of not guilty at this time, request 15 days for any pre-arraignment motions, demand trial by jury, and please leave this set for pretrial.
All right, Chad Grice, you charged with felony battery. Your attorneys pledge you not guilty. Ask for a jury trial, February 26th. Get ready for trial. Get with your attorney. Thank you. Austin Gregory Geis.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs from Mr. Geis, we had just filed a motion to withdraw this morning. I believe Your Honor did sign that order relieving us, so Regional Conflict Counsel now represents Mr. Geis. I don't know if he still wants to potentially hear any offers from the state. Of course, I cannot advise him on those.
All right,
because of
Mr.
the
Geis, this is 23 CF 2533. You're charged with robbery with no firearm or weapon. The public defender has had to withdraw from your case because they have a conflict, and I'm appointing the Regional Conflict Counsel to represent you, Ms. Flowers. So what I'm going to do is enter a not guilty plea, ask for a jury trial, and she'll be up to see you, and court date is February 26th, okay?
If I may ask, sir?
Yeah.
Or Your Honor?
Yes.
Is there any offers that you want to send on the table that the state?
Let me see if they do.
Yes, Your Honor, it's 30 months DOC.
30 months DOC is the current
Yeah.
offer, so why don't you meet with Ms. Flowers and let her work your case some and see if something better can happen,
Yes, sir, thank you.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Oh, he was also, hang on a second, Mr. Geis, you were also charged with using a false ID. You also had a charge of using false ID. I forgot to tell you about that one, okay? Same, she'll still represent you on both. Okay, thank you. Shaquem Hall. This is 23 CF 2117, Shaquem Hall. You're charged with the public order crime, tampering with electronic monitor.
Judge, I represent Mr. Hall. We'll be entering a plea of not guilty, requesting 15 days for any pre-arraignment motions, and demand trial by jury.
Any offers?
The offer was for 6 months in jail. I don't know how much credit he has. The crime took place back in July,
The arrest date is November 22nd,
November 22nd.
but he would not be getting out today anyway.
No, not today.
Okay. February 26th then, okay? Maybe you can work it out, okay? Thank you.
I'll come out and we'll talk about the offer later.
Christopher John Hargrove.
Judge, on Mr. Hargrove, it looks like we're going to be able to resolve that one today. I'm just going to need a little bit of time to get the plea offer drafted up.
Okay, we'll bring back Mr. Hargrove in a few minutes, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Anthony Arthur Hawkins. All right, this is Anthony Arthur Hawkins. You're charged with criminal mischief over $1,000.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I'm going to be representing Mr. Hawkins. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf. I've got something I need to evaluate, and then request 15 days for pre-arraignment motions and demand trial by jury.
All right, February 26th, okay? Maybe they can get your case worked out, bring you back sooner, okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Zachary Hillman, or Heilman.
Judge, I'll enter a plea of not guilty on Mr. Heilman's request, 15 days for pre-arraignment motions and demand trial by jury.
All right, Mr. Heilman, you're charged with trafficking in meth, possession of a weapon or ammo by a convicted felon, possession of narcotics equipment. Your attorney's pledged you not guilty. Ask for a jury trial February 26th.
Thank you.
He'll be up to see you, okay? Thank you.
I've seen him already. I've seen everybody.
William Jack Hensley.
Judge, Mr. Hensley is currently unrepresented.
All right, Mr. Hensley, you are charged sex assault on a victim, 18 years or older, no force violence. Would you like a public defender to represent you, attorney to represent you on this case?
I had an attorney, Ricky Durham. I don't know where he's at, though. I haven't heard from him.
Oh,
I've
really?
been fighting this case since July, and they came and picked me up in November. I had a court date for January, so he doesn't understand why they picked me up to begin with. But. So I guess I'm going to have a public defender. I mean, I don't know where he's at.
Well, we'll see what we can do to help you on this.
yes, sir.
Okay, hang on
Yes,
one
sir.
second.
I haven't had any contact with Mr. Diaram on this case.
We're going to check, see what's up.
Yes, sir. In the meantime, Your Honor, can I get a signature bond? I do have a job, and I have 13 acres and 2 houses here in Crestview. I'm not a flight risk by all means.
Well, before we could consider that, it has to be noticed, so the state has a chance to see what you're saying and respond. And so what I'm going to do is appoint a public defender to represent you, and he'll plead you not guilty, ask for jury trial, then he can file a motion for bond, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'll come out to see you in the relatively near future. Okay, you can tell me about it when I go out to see. I don't have anything to
Okay.
make a note of that right now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Javers Johnson.
Afternoon, Judge. Jay Williams for the defense, and a plea of not guilty, request 15 days for pre-arraignment motions, and request trial by jury.
All right, Mr. Johnson, charged with aggravated battery on child. Your attorney's pledged you not guilty. Asked for a jury trial, so we'll set you for February 26th, and he'll be up to see you, and, okay? Thank
I'll come
you.
out and see you again once I get all the discovery and stuff.
Ashley Deanne Jolson.
Your Honor, that's another out-of-state fugitive from justice.
Okay.
So, same issue as the one before, I guess. I'll check the...
Thomas Lynn Kammer. Not an
Good.
inmate. Kind of bond you got, signature and ROR. No bond, Capias. Damon Kendall. All right, this is your Dalen Damon Kendall,
Demond.
Damon, okay. You're charged with burglary with an assault and 2 counts of aggravated battery, victim pregnant. You don't have an attorney. Would you like me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll appoint public defender.
Judge, I'll go ahead and enter a plea of not guilty on his request, or on his behalf, request 15 days for pre-arraignment motions, and demand trial by jury. Sir, you need to call that number.
Okay.
Appointment to come see me, okay?
February 26th, Mr. Kendall, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Judge.
Thank you, sir.
Michael Anthony Kinchin. All right, Mr. Kinchin, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance and possession of narcotics equipment. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer would be for a dismissal of the felony, plead as charged to the misdemeanor, which is count 2, for court costs and time served, and adjudication of guilt.
You want to
No
accept
probation.
that? No if you want to enter a no contest plea, the state's going to dismiss the felony. I'll sentence you to pay standard court costs and sentence you to time served in the county jail and no probation. In other words, you'll get out today unless there's some hold on you from somewhere else. Do you want to do that?
Yes, sir.
Would you raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court's the truth, so help you God.
Sir, my God.
Okay, you want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of misdemeanor possession of narcotic equipment? You do? You have to speak into that microphone.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this no contest plea? Your right to a jury trial, right to be represented by an attorney, right to remain silent, right to make the state prove its case beyond and to the exclusion of reasonable doubt. You're waiving those rights. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to enter this no contest plea to this misdemeanor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Sentences you to time served, no probation, standard court costs, give you 180 days to pay it before it goes to a judgment. And the state's going to dismiss the felony.
That is correct.
All right, thank you. You should get out today unless you got something else going on. Harvey Langley.
Judge Jay Williams for the defense. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on his request, or on his behalf, request 15 days for pre-arraignment motions and demand trial by jury.
All right, Mr. Langley, you're charged with burglary of an unoccupied dwelling and possession of a controlled substance. Your attorney's pledged you not guilty. Ask for a jury trial. We'll see you February 26th.
Thank you, Judge.
Anastasia Lennon. Ms. Lennon, you're charged with fraud, property under $2,000, and grand theft, $10,000 or more, but less than $20,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, I'm representing Ms. Lennon. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on her behalf, request 15-day for pre-arraignment motions and demand trial by jury.
All right, February 26th court date. Thank you.
Ma'am, I'm going to give you a card. You need to make an appointment, come in and see me, okay?
Okay.
Deandra Marion. All right, Ms. Marion, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance without a prescription and possession of narcotics equipment. Okay?
Judge, I've given her a copy of the plea agreement. Is this what you want to do, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
Let me get your signature here then. Do you mind if I date it for you?
Yes.
That's all right.
Ms. Marion, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court is the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Marion, you want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, and possession of paraphernalia, a first-degree misdemeanor. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
That's what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Judge you guilty on both counts. Sentence you to time served, $515 court cost, $1,000 fine, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 PD fee, and give you 180 days to pay the fine and costs before they all go to judgment. Adjudicated on both counts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Good luck to you, okay?
Timothy Matthews.
Judge, if we can pass Mr. Matthews for a few minutes, I had called his case early, or called his name earlier, and I need to speak with him, make him aware of an offer that's been made.
Okay. We'll call you back in a few minutes. Brandon McGowan.
There you go, Mr. McGowan. Judge, this is going to be a plea to 30 days county jail with credit for time served, court costs, cost of prosecution, PD fees, and then forfeit the contraband.
Mr. McGowan, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court is the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You want to enter a plea of no contest to the charge of carrying concealed weapon by a convicted felon, a second-degree felony. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
That's what you want to do? You have to answer out loud.
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
You understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Judge you guilty. Sentence you to 30 days county jail with credit for time served. Standard court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 PD fee. Forfeit the brass knuckles.
All right, sir. Good luck to you. Judge, we had Ms. Mattingly brought back over. This is the one where the court
Yeah.
rescinded the warrant. The bondsman went ahead and went off her bond.
Is she here?
She is. If we can bring her out and address that. I know that the bondsman made mention of the fact that we hadn't requested that the bond be, the forfeiture be set aside, but I don't represent the bondsman. So I don't know why he thought that that was something that we would do, and maybe I just misunderstood him. But at any event, we need to bring her out.
Where is she?
She's in lockup.
Bring her on out.
Is the bondsman or anybody from the, paper back on? Here's kind of how all of them work.
Right here.
If y'all return this draft, if they want, you know, the little hand motion, and follow with the clerk and y'all get it back. But we can go ahead, if you want to go ahead and step forward on behalf of, are you with the bondsman's office?
No, it's her friend.
Oh, okay.
What?
Judge, what I'm being told by her friend is that,
Well, I don't care
Ms.
about what her
Mattingly's-
friend said. What's the situation with the bond?
From what I can gather, the bondsman went ahead and went off bond. He approached me to explain what was going on. I didn't realize he already had her in the van. This was outside the courthouse, said something about, you know, not